In the dead silence of the Ural Mountains, 9 souls vanished into darkness, their final screams swallowed by the snow. And something far more sinister, in the frozen wilderness of Russia, buried beneath mountains of ice and silence, lies a story so chilling, so mysterious, that it has haunted the world for over 60 years. This is the real-life horror of the Dyatlov Pass incident. It was the winter of 1959, a time when the Soviet Union prized strength and endurance above all. Adventurous young souls tested their will against nature's fury. Among them was Igor Dyatlov, a brilliant, disciplined engineering student, leading a group of 8 friends on an expedition across the most unforgiving terrains of the Ural Mountains. Each of the 9 hikers was carefully chosen. Skilled mountaineers, hardened skiers, and experienced survivors of brutal winters. They were prepared for hardship, but not for what awaited them in the cursed place locals call Kolachakkal, Mountain of the Dead. The journey began with laughter and promise. Photographs recovered later showed smiling faces, playful snowball fights, shared meals under white skies. Their diaries, found among the wreckage, were filled with jokes, hopes, and camaraderie. Nothing to hint at the nightmare ahead. On January 31st, they set up a base camp in the shadows of the pass. February 1st, they began their final ascent, but an unexpected blizzard disoriented them. They drifted off course, climbing higher into the barren, windswept slopes. As night fell, in temperatures colder than -30 degrees Celsius, they pitched their tent on the steep side of a mountain. Inside that thin canvas, huddled together against the howling winds, they must have felt a creeping unease, the ancient silence of the mountain pressing against them, the deafening, unnatural stillness between gusts of wind. Somewhere in that dark, something terrible found them. When the hikers failed to return as scheduled, relatives demanded a sir. Days passed, 10 weeks. When searchers finally located the campsite, they recoiled in horror. The tent was discovered, and torn open from the inside, slicing through thick, winterproof fabric. Something had terrified the group enough to flee barefoot into the lethal cold. Their warm clothes, boots, food, all left behind. The footprints revealed chaos, barefoot tracks, half-dressed figures staggering into the snow in opposite directions, as if fleeing unseen horrors. The first 2 bodies were found under a giant, skeletal cedar tree, their skin charred, hands torn raw, and blackened from attempting to climb it, perhaps in a frantic attempt to escape something. Nearby, the snow was trampled and broken, suggesting a desperate struggle for survival. 3 more corpses were found halfway between the tent and the tree, frozen mid-motion, reaching back toward the tent, towards safety. They would never reach. Their bodies twisted grotesquely in the snow, faces contorted in final agony. And then, the last 4 were discovered months later. Their remains lay deep beneath snowdrifts, in a forested ravine. Their injuries defied belief. One had a crushed skull. Another, shattered ribs, broken so violently it seemed impossible without external force. Strangely, no external wounds, just catastrophic internal damage. One woman's eyes were missing, her tongue torn from her mouth, her body frozen in a posture of silent, eternal terror. An avalanche, some said, yet no signs of snow displacement were found. Military weapons testing? The government remained tight-lipped. Radioactive traces were discovered on some of the clothing, but no official explanation was given. Others spoke of strange lights seen in the sky that night, glowing orbs that hovered and darted across the blackness. Some locals believed the hikers had encountered a yeti or supernatural forces dwelling deep within the mountain. The Soviet investigation was swift, brutal, and inconclusive. The final report blamed an unknown compelling force and quietly shut the case. Files were sealed, witnesses silenced. The dead were buried with no answers. Today, Dyatlov Pass is a place of fear and pilgrimage. Brave trekkers report feelings of dread, sudden headaches, unexplained bruises upon waking. Some claim to hear faint screaming on the winds. the cries of those 9 doomed souls echoing across the tundra. The true terror of Dyatlov Pass isn't just what happened. It's that we still don't know why. And perhaps we never will. For some mysteries are not meant to be solved. They live on, in the dark, hungry silence of forgotten places, waiting, watching. If the unknown stirs your soul, and true stories of terror intrigue you, stay with us. Subscribe to Fragments of the Fear, where real nightmares are never far away.